Hello guys, today I'm going to show you guys how to implement a simple life or energy timer in your Unity game project. So this feature actually helpful to delay the player progress in your games. So as you can see, I have prepared a text energy and a text timer and also a use button over here. So now we need to create a game object for it. Then we name this as Energy Manager. Cool. Then now go to your script folder, we create a new script for it, call this Energy Manager 2. Then double click to edit it. Now we are in the Energy Manager script. So before we writing any new method, there are a few variables we need to define first. Firstly will be the reference to the energy text and also the timer text. So we will be using a serializer field here with text. Basically the serializer field allows us to define a private variable which can reference by the inspector. So this will be the text timer. Okay, now we need to define a configurable variable which is the maximum energy you are allowed for the player to be obtained. So we will copy and paste that and we will call this max energy. So the total amount of energy player will not exceed this value. Now we need the integer which is the total energy. We set it to 0 by default, then followed by another date time. The first date time we need to use is the next energy time, which defines the next time the player will acquire a new energy. So fix the error by using a Unity system. Copy this. The second date time will be the last added time. I will expand a little bit further when we use this variable. So now we need another integer. We'll call this restore duration, which is the duration the player have to wait to get a new energy. So we will be setting 10 for now. 10 seconds I mean. This is actually for testing purpose. In your actual project, you can set 10 to 20 minutes or something else. So now, remove the update method since we are not using it. So at the start method, the first thing we need to do is to load the data from the player device. So before we can load any data, of course we need to save it first. So in this tutorial, I will be using player pref as the data storage. The first method we need to have is the load method. Then followed by a second method, we will call it a save method. So now we will, okay. Let me complete the save method first. So the first data we need to set is the total energy. So player pref dot set integer. We are passing the total energy field into the parameter. The key first. So we will be calling this total energy and followed by its value. Copy this and paste. For the second and third time, the second data we need to save is the date time value, which is the next energy time. So since the variable is not allowed us to save any date time, we will be using a setString method. So this will be next energy time dot toString. Then we will do exactly the same thing for the last added time. So last added time dot toString as well. Oh, oops, sorry, it should be a last added time. miss out the set string over here. Okay, now we are able to set this value into our player pref. Now let's complete the load method. So for the load method, we need to create another private method first before we start complete the load method. Let me set this to private. Since we are not using externally, we'll call this actually it's not void, it should be date time. We'll call this string to date, which will take a string value called date. So this method is actually will help us face the string date to the actual date time format. So now we at the player pref dot get integer, we'll set this to should be set to the total in energy field. Then followed by the next energy time. We'll call this string to date method, then pass in the string value we get from the player pref. So make sure your keyword is the same. Copy and paste this. Do the same thing for the last added time. Yeah, actually this keyword you can store it in a variable field. Since it is used on two different places, it is much more better if you store it to a constant. So now let's complete the string to date method. So firstly, if string, we will check whether the string is null. If the string is null, we will return a date time. We will return date time dot now, which is the current time. Else, we will just return the date time dot face the string value. This will help us face the string date to a date time object. Cool. Now our save and load method is complete. On the start method, let's call the load method first. Now we are ready to implement the timer routine. So we will create a call routine which is private. Emulator, we'll call this restore routine. Then let me start the call routine on our start method first, in case to prevent later I miss out. So at the start of the routine, after we have the data ready, then we need to update the timer UI and also the energy UI, which is the text display to the player. So now we need to create another two method. We will call this private void update timer, and also a private void update energy. Okay, cool. We will complete this method later, so we will use it on our routine first. Now, after we have updated the UI, we need to have a loop with checking the total energy is O, whether it's less than the maximum energy. If the total energy is less than the maximum energy, this routine will keep running. Why there is an error over here? Oh, because this should be an integer. Okay, cool. Before we do any checking, now we need to declare some variable first. The first variable will be the date time, which is the current time. We'll take the date time dot now, then followed by a date time counter. This counter will be used to calculate the next energy time. So by default, we'll be setting to next energy time. Now we need to do another loop, which is checking the current time is greater than the next energy time, which is the counter for now. The reason we're doing in the loop because we might adding more than one energy to the player as long as the player does not exceed the maximum value. So now if the total energy is less than the maximum energy, then we will be adding an energy to the player. So we will set the total energy plus plus, which add the total energy by 1. Then we need to define a datetime variable. We call this time to add. This variable is used to identify which time we are adding the duration to. So we will be checking the last added time with the next energy time, which is the counter for now. So if the last added time is later than the counter, then we will be using a last added time. Else we will be using a counter. Because we should always use the latest value, because one of the value might be outdated. Now we will be calculate the next energy time, which is the counter, by adding the restore duration to the time to add. I think we will create a method for this. It will be much more better. Private add duration. This will return a date time. So it will take a date time. We'll call this date and time be better. Then followed by a integer. We call this duration. So this actually will return the time dot add seconds duration. In your actual game project, you might be adding other type of maybe minutes or hour. So actually you can change the method over here. Let's say change to add, should be a minutes. So this is the benefit of creating a method for it. So we will be using the add duration method over here. By calling the add duration, place the time to add inside and the restore duration, which we defined just now. Okay, cool. Now, if the total energy is greater or equal to the max energy, then of course we will break the loop. So else break. Why the error? Oh, sorry, because I placed in the wrong bracket. Let me move it in the correct place. It should be after the if statement. Okay, now as you can see, if there is any change in the next energy time, we have not saved it back to our variable yet. We only calculated in the counter field. So now we need to I think we will declare a boolean over here. We call this is adding is better. So we will check. We will set the is adding equal to true if there is any increase in the energy amount. Now we will check if is adding. If there is any change on the energy amount, then we will set the last added time to our current time. Since we are adding energy now, and the next energy time will be the counter, the calculated value by our loop just now. So after the checking is done, we should, let me think if I missed anything. Yeah, we should update the UI now. So we will be calling the update timer and also the update energy method. Then followed by calling the save method. Lastly, we will return a frame, which this timer will execute every frame to keep the timer running. So now we will try to complete the update timer method and also update energy. Let me complete the update energy first. This will be a simple method. So we will just set the text energy.text equal to our total energy dot to string. Yep, that's it. Now back to our update timer. We need to check if total energy is greater than max energy. If yes, we will set the string to something else, which is the full, which notify the player you have reached the maximum amount of energy they can acquire. We will return the method afterward. If it is not, then we need to calculate the difference between the next energy time to the current time. So we will be using a timestamp, use the next energy time minus the current time. The string value, we will do some formatting over here. The first value will be, we will be using a bracket 0, then followed by 1. The second value, the D2 will to indicate which used to format as a 2-digit number. So the minute and lastly the time will be, the second will be using the 2-digit value. So the first one will be T dot total hours followed by T dot minutes and the T dot second. The reason we are using a total hours over here because it might be more than a day, 48 days and 3 hours, it will just show 3. If you're using a total hours, it will show all the hours on the timer. So we will set the text timer dot text equal to value. Cool. Now I think we can try to test the script now. Yeah, it should be fine. Let me check. Cool. Let's go back to Unity. Let me add the energy manager script reference to a text timer and text energy. Set the max energy value to 5. Now let's try to test it. This is something weird. Let me check my script. Yep, it should be the total hours here because the total hours is written as a double type value, so we need to cast it to integer. So let us test it. Oh, it's nearly to the full value. Because just now we have run once, just now the data is already saved to player pref, and the use button is not working as is expected. Let's go to our start method. Let's try to clear the player pref, calling the delete for testing purpose so that we can see the actual timer is running correctly. So if there is no value, there will be a default value which is for the next energy time, which is the current time. So it will be starting with 1 life. So let me stop it. Let me wait for a second. Play again. It should be start. Oh, it's because we are clearing our data always in our script. So that's why we cannot see any update in the timer. So let's back to our script. Remove the delete all test method. Cool. Now as you can see, we can see the timer is actually running based on reference to our data in the player pref. So let's wait for the timer to be full. Cool. The use of course is not working. Now let's try to complete the use method. So create another method. We will call this use energy method. For the use energy method, the first thing we need to do is check whether the total energy is 0. If 0, of course we do nothing. Then, because there is no energy, you can't do anything. Then we will reduce the energy by 1 and update the energy UI. Now we need to check whether the restore routine is started. Because if the routine is running, we should not call another call routine. So we need to declare a bool over here. We call this restoring. If the routine is running, then we set the restoring equals true. Then at the end of method, we are set back to false. It should be over here. Yep, set it to false. Cool. Now, at the use energy method, we will check if the restore is running. If it's false, then we will call the restore routine to be start. Then we need to do another checking, because if our current energy is full, means the total energy plus 1 will be equal to the max energy. Let me do some highlight on this. If energy is full just now, then we need to update the next energy time. So we will be adding the restore duration to the current time, since the next energy time should be the duration from now. Because this will be the last instant, we will be adding the duration to it. So when we reduce an energy, we should recalculate the next energy time, because the previous value will be long outdated. Now, I think we are ready to test the script. So let's go back to our Unity. Try to click on, because we haven't referenced the onClick to it. So add an onClick method, reference to the use energy method. We are now try to test. Click the use, cool, reduce by 1, and the timer start running. Let's speed it until full. Cool. Let me try a little more. Yep, it's working properly, which is in the way we want. So this is how I implement a energy timer or live timer in my Unity project. So this might be not the perfect solution, because the player are able to adjust their device time to skip the waiting, since the data is always storing in player device. I think if you want to prevent this, the best approach will be save the data on the server, so you can always verify the time in the server instead of the user phone. So if you found any bug on this method, you might let me know on the comment below, so that I can release another video to fix it or whatever. If there is any simple mistake I make, you might forgive me and enhance or improve it on the way you like. So I think that's it for this tutorial. Let me test something else. Let me try to change to 120 seconds and see what will it looks like. Cool, the mini is working fine. So I think that's it for this tutorial. If this tutorial helps you, please give this video a like and also subscribe to my channel. See you in the next video.